If your team isn't bringing you new ideas, it's not because they're lazy. Maybe they just don't feel seen enough and feel valued enough to be able to bring those things to the table. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that today. But my name is Dayana. I help entrepreneurs and small business owners to be able to scale their businesses through building high-performing teams as well as automating their systems and processes. So let's get into it. So again, like I said, we're going to be talking about how to foster an innovative company culture. It is difficult to foster that when there's micromanaging and things like that happening. So it's really good to be able to try to get ahead of that, okay? When I am talking about being innovative, it doesn't mean that they need to be creating new things on a regular basis, but when your team figures out that they may have an insightful idea that they want to share with the team, they should feel welcome to share that, because that's going to help to fuel your business. And you want more ideas than just your own, because who knows, they might have the $1 million idea that's going to take your business to the next level. So innovation really is not a strategy. It's actually a culture. The reason I feel like it's a culture is because it is what fuels your business. And there are things that can either fuel your business or kill your business. And so you want to be able to have an innovative company culture so everyone feels like that their opinion is valued and that they're not just a number for the company, or they don't feel like they're just doing. They actually feel like that they have a say, because normally when people actually get a say within something, they are 10 times more likely to put in more effort and energy. It's honestly sad that it's that way. They should put in energy and effort regardless. But when people feel like that they have some skin in the game and that they've contributed to the idea that's going to be carried out, they're a lot more likely to follow it through, see it through, and give it 110% than if they feel like that they didn't have a say in the overall decision-making process for whatever the idea is. There's a few things that I think that company culture allows for innovation to happen. And one of those is that company culture is a permission system. So it gives insights into how people should operate within the company, certain things that they should do, ways they should carry themselves, word tracks they should say. And that gives them the okay to be able to move forward on certain projects and be able to take initiative and not feel like that they're kind of siloed, or that they have to just walk a really, really thin line because they don't want to get in trouble. So the overall 3 culture killers that block innovation are going to be micromanagement, the blame culture, and then last but certainly not least, lack of recognition. Let's start off with micromanaging. I talk about this in quite a few of my videos because it is something that hits home for me. It's very difficult for someone to want to do the job and to be able to do it well when they're being micromanaged, because they don't want to make a wrong move. They don't want to take that initiative because they're afraid of whatever the backlash is going to be on the back end. Even if they try to put their best foot forward, maybe it's still not up to your expectations, or it's not good enough, and there's someone always breathing down their neck, so they're not going to want to make a wrong move. So micromanagement is definitely one of the killers of building an innovative company culture. Second is going to be the blame culture. And I know that we all know those certain people in our lives that they can never do anything wrong, regardless of what it is that is going on. It's always going to be someone else's fault. And this not only puts up a barrier and diminishes morale within the company, but it also makes it very difficult for someone to even want to step outside of their comfort zone, because they know they're going to get thrown under the bus if the outcome is not ideal. And everyone makes mistakes, so you should not feel like just because you don't live up to whatever the expectation was, or you made a mistake, that you'll be pretty much banished. Like, you should not in any way make your team feel that way. You want to let them know that, hey, we're all in this together. Whose decision was it to make this call? Okay, great. Let's learn from it. Let's move forward. It is not about blaming, saying, oh, this is Stacy's fault that this happened, or this is Casey's fault that this happened. It should not ever be, it's your fault, it's on you. We are a team. We are an organization. We are a unit. And so any decisions that are being made, we are making and choosing those paths as a company, and let's all just work together and be a cohesive, collaborative unit. And so that kind of brings me to my next point with, when there is blaming going on, unfortunately, there can also be a lack of recognition. So people want to kind of put the negative spotlight on other people, but they are slow to put the positive spotlight on. And it really should be the opposite. It should be to where we are just praising one another, we are lifting one another up, we are encouraging, but sometimes there's a lack of recognition when things are done right. It's really easy to look at the wrong things and pinpoint that, but it is just as important to celebrate our wins as our potential losses or areas of improvement. Because if people don't feel like that they're being recognized, they're going to feel like that their work really doesn't matter, that no one's looking at it anyway, so why should they try? And I can guarantee you that is the quickest way for someone to become disengaged within the company culture. And they're not going to be able to bring any ideas. They're not going to want to bring any ideas, because even though maybe they had a great idea in the past that was carried out, the lack of recognition that was given to them, they did not appreciate that. And instead of going and trying to figure out another idea, they just kind of just drop it and just scrap it. And so you don't want it to ever get to that point, because you want your team to continue to feel safe emotionally, psychologically, to be able to continue to bring those new ideas forward. Because like I said, that could be the $1 million business idea that they have that could skyrocket your company to the next level. And so you just never know. Innovation friendly culture looks like a few different things. Okay, so it looks like having psychological safety for your team, cross collaboration, and even empowerment over permission. So I kind of want to start at the last one that I said. So empowerment over permission. We want to give people the power and the authority to make the decisions, instead of them constantly coming and asking us, is it okay if I do this? Is it okay if I do that? It's a different scenario when you say, hey, this is the overall objective. This is where we need to get to. This is the budget that you have to work with. Let me know if you need any help from me or how I can support you, but I trust you to make the right decision. Versus, hey, before you spend a dime or before you spend $1, make sure you come and let me know. And they're constantly having to get that answer from you in order for things to move forward. That's not efficient, because that's going to dramatically slow down the process of things getting completed, because they're going to worry about, oh, I need to get permission from so and so, or I need to get permission on this before I even move forward because I don't want to make a mistake. Empower the individuals within your organization. Know that they can carry out whatever the task is. Set the expectations up front. If you do want different updates, set those expectations from the get-go so that it's very easily measured, that you can know what's getting done, when it's getting done, but you do not have to have them to ask permission on every little thing. You give them the parameters to work within and then let them work. Number 2, like I mentioned, was cross collaboration. Don't ever silo your teams. That is a huge no-no, and that is going to dramatically reduce innovation within your organization, because no one's going to know what the other person next door in the other department is doing. If you have everyone to where they can only speak with their department, they only meet with their other department, there's no department cross collaboration, there's none of that. That's going to make it extremely difficult for the company to grow, and there's going to be different holes, because with the different members within the different departments not collaborating, they're not going to know what the other department is doing. I've worked with a company before that actually happened. It was not on purpose, but we realized all the departments were siloed. No one was really working together. And once we started working together, things were a lot more efficient. Things were a lot more seamless, not only internally, but also for our consumers of our products. And so not only do you want to do this for your team internally, but it's also going to help with the overall customer journey and delivering your product and service efficiently and effectively to your customer. And then last, but probably the most important, is having that psychological safety. People want to know that they are being heard. They also want to know that they are not going to be looked down upon for whatever idea that they might come up with or that they want to share with everyone. And so continue to be uplifting and being encouraging to your team members, and have that as a part of the company culture within the organization, that you know that you want everyone to feel heard, you want everyone to feel seen, regardless of the idea. There's no bad ideas. All ideas can honestly lead to a positive destination. There might be some outlandish ideas, don't get me wrong. There are some pretty wild ideas out there, but those can make a huge difference. And just because this one portion of the idea didn't work doesn't mean that it can't be tweaked slightly, and that might make the difference for your business. So make sure that everyone feels like they are a part of the organization and what it's going for. And then just a quick little story. And I think I had mentioned this on one of my other videos, but I had 9 people in an office while I was out of the office, and no one would make a decision without me. And that was something that was very eye-opening to me, because that was pretty early in my career, but it was eye-opening because I realized that they did not feel empowered to make the decision. They felt like that they had to ask for permission because they didn't want to let me down. And that was a poor reflection of me as a leader, but it taught me that I needed to go in and completely change things within the department and to set expectations and let everyone just continue to work, because I wasn't micromanaging and I was not trying to micromanage. It's just they felt like every little thing they needed to ask me, and I continued to be that crutch for them and did not challenge them. So I encourage you that if you do ever have that within your organization, challenge your team members, challenge your department heads to take that initiative with their own departments, take that initiative amongst their own teams, amongst their peers, and continue to be solution oriented and to figure out ways of being able to better the company through innovation. But again, it starts at your company culture. So you want to make sure that you foster a strong company culture that will help to initiate innovation. So if you felt like this was helpful, please subscribe to my channel. This is day 23 of my 100-day challenge. I'm going to be dropping tips and tricks over the next 100 days, videos every single day that I'll be dropping. So again, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will see y'all tomorrow.